Let all cats, old enough to catch their own prey, gather here beneath the podcast for a clan meeting. Welcome to Paws and Claws, a podcast where we read the Warrior Cats books in chronological order. I'm Jillian, joined by my co-host and Hylian master builder, Scout, and today we will be discussing two of the Warrior Cats novellas, Thunderstar's Echo and Shadowstar's Life. Hello, Scout. How are you today?
Hello. I'm good. We did just discuss. I'm gonna put myself on blast. We just discussed that I apparently have put 80 hours into Tears of the Kingdom in the last 9 days. I am not taking any questions. Thank you.
None at this time.
No, I'm taking no questions at this time. I must retreat to be with my family. My family is all of my horses in Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, I still only have two. I think I need to get a couple more horses.
I am horse girl sim in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom always.
It's been a fun time. I gotta say.
It's such a good game.
Yeah.
But we're here to talk about cats, not horses.
We sure are. Scout, how's the prey running over there?
Prey is running good. I had like beans and cheese with tortilla chips. That was yesterday, but it was a very nice lunch. Today I had a charcuterie board.
I love that.
It was very nice.
I made a pasta salad for lunch or for dinner tonight. It was really good.
It looks so good.
Love a good pasta salad. One of the few things I enjoy about summer. Or Greenleaf, as we can call it here.
Greenleaf is coming for us. It's so warm. We have so many friends who, bless them, love to be like, if it's 90 degrees, they're thriving. They're like, this is the best. I don't understand how they do it.
Yeah, that could not be me ever.
Could not be me. Shout out to them though. They're doing a great job.
What say we take a little quiz?
Yeah,
about one of our prominent cats today. We are taking the How Much Do You Know About Shadowstar quiz.
I got 6 out of 6.
Oh, damn. I only got 4 out of 6. I feel bad. I'm sorry, Queen. I kept waffling on question 4, which was who Tall Shadow killed during the Great Battle. I could not remember who it was. And then the quote one I also did not get correct.
I was not like sure that I was getting the quote right, but apparently I got it.
Not very confident on that one. But, none of these really had anything to do with the little short story we read about our girl today.
Yeah, except for the last one, which is about who she chose as her deputy.
Right. Although I think that was in Mothflight's vision, wasn't it?
No, we knew that the leaders had gotten their 9 lives, but I believe we only knew that Windstar had chosen a deputy. If we knew any deputies at all yet, as I remember it, the last thing we knew was more about just the leaders getting their lives, because there weren't official deputies yet.
That makes sense. There's not a lot of prey running here today.
I googled Shadowstar.
Oh no.
And there's also an anime called Shadowstar, apparently.
Oh good.
Wow, I love this image.
Oh wow, that is such a good image, huh?
What does she have? What's that person got?
The Wikipedia article says that it is a starfish-shaped dragon child, a baby shadow dragon.
Oh.
It's apparently...
Shadow dragon could almost be... God, I wish the cats knew about dragons.
I do too.
That would be sick. If the cats knew what dragons were, that would be fucking great. Starfish is being very generous to this little creature.
Yeah. Well, maybe, she is riding it like a skateboard, so maybe it like spreads out and looks more like a starfish.
Maybe. The Japanese name for this manga is Narutaru, which is so close to
Naruto.
So close to Naruto for my stupid English brain.
Well, I hope the prey's running good for you guys, dear listeners, because We're feeling the goofies today, it seems.
We are. We're very unstructured in this element today. Excited to talk about these adventures.
Oh, very.
So why don't you tell us a little tale? Give us the summary.
Of course. In Thunderstar's Echo, we pick up with the clans sometime after the events of Mothflight's vision. ThunderClan is doing well under the leadership of Thunderstar, who has appointed his best friend Lightning Tail as his deputy. As he struggles with dealing with the interpersonal squabbles of his clan, he learns that his mate, Violet Dawn, is expecting their kits. The young leader is thrilled, but also nervous about his ability to be a good father to his children. When a pack of dogs attacks the camp, Thunderstar and Lightning Tail decide to find some way to ensure the camp's safety. They journey to where the dogs reside in a foul-smelling two-leg place and attempt to block the hole in the fence that the dogs were leaving through. Their plan is cut short as the dogs attack, and despite their attempts to escape, both cats are killed in the fight. As he is a leader with 9 lives, Thunderstar returns to life, warning his dear friend, but refuses to let his death be in vain. He spends the night sitting a vigil for his fallen friend, and the next day returns to the two-leg place. After a few more attempts, he alerts the two legs to the hole in the fence, and the threat of the dogs is solved. That night, he returns to the clan, and Violet Dawn gives birth to their kits. After a period of mourning, at a gathering, Thunderstar tells the other clans about how it was helpful to sit vigil for Lightning Tail, and names Owl Eyes the new deputy of ThunderClan. Shortly after, in Shadowstar's life, it is revealed that SkyClan is worried about increased two-leg activity in the forest, and that the cats of SkyClan are afraid that their home will be lost. Shadowstar agrees to back Skystar up at the gathering, that the clans should be ready to make changes if necessary. On her way back from the meeting with Skystar, she and Sunshadow, her deputy, are attacked by dogs. As she and Sunshadow die to the dog's attack, she swears that she sees another cat watching them from the trees. After dying, it is revealed that Shadowstar is now on her final life. Paranoid about who could have orchestrated the attack and angry at the jockeying for the position of deputy that her warriors are participating in, Shadowstar withdraws, anxious and afraid of what will happen when she is no longer there to lead ShadowClan. She shares her fears with Pebbleheart, who assures her of her ability to lead and trust her clanmates. At the gathering, the clans argue over what will happen if the two legs do in fact take over the territory that SkyClan and ThunderClan occupy. Shadowstar agrees to look for potential new territory for SkyClan if it is needed, and while on patrol, a cat pushes her onto the Thunderpath in an attempt to kill her. Her companions on patrol rush to her aid, and they identify the cat as Quickwater, a SkyClan warrior. When Shadowstar confronts Quickwater in the SkyClan camp, the warrior does not defend herself from the accusations, and Skystar exiles her. Shadowstar believes this is the end of the issue, but learns that ThunderClan is harboring the exile. She calls an emergency gathering, and all the clans but WindClan side with Quickwater's protest of innocence, and the warriors welcome back to SkyClan. Shadowstar and Windstar decide to settle this with just Quickwater, but the cats of ThunderClan and SkyClan come to fight as well. As Quickwater kills Shadowstar, she lands a killing blow on Quickwater, who confesses on her deathbed and asks for forgiveness. In StarClan, the two are given a vision of the future of the clans, and that while the trouble they feared will come to pass, the clans will one day thrive and be reunited. So,
very good summaries, very fun little novellas. I had a lot of fun with these.
I loved these. These felt so classic Warriors to me.
Right? They really did feel so classic Warriors.
Like, I loved Dawn of the Clans. I loved how different it was, but also, God, it feels so fun to like deal with the like code drama and like dogs. Like, fucking dogs, man.
Fucking dogs.
They make such a good enemy in Warriors books.
They do, to the point where both of these start with essentially the same event.
Yeah,
all the
it's
way
so
down
funny.
to them seeing Greywing while they are briefly in StarClan, which was very funny to me. It was very nice. I love to see Greywing. But I was like, oh, we playing the hits. Greywing is here. There's dogs attacking.
Yeah, it was very,
Cats
very
are
good.
dying.
So, just in general, I had a lot more notes taken during Thunderstar's Echo than I did in Shadowstar's Life. And I don't think that's an indication of which one I thought was better. I do think that Shadowstar's Life was more of a mystery, and therefore I didn't have a ton of notes to take.
Yeah.
While Thunderstar's Echo
mysterious.
was very, like, action-adventure.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Thunderstar's Echo first. I loved this. This was so good. It made me so happy to read it.
It felt like such a true and good continuation of Dawn of the Clans in the way that Mothflight Vision didn't.
Exactly. Yes.
Not
exactly.
to once again become a Mothflight's Vision hate cast, but the vibes in Mothflight's Vision were just so drastically different. And Thunderstar's Echo and Shadowstar's Life, but Thunderstar's Echo is the first in the chronology, so it's the first one we open with here, really does feel like you are in sort of the epilogue, the continuation of the story that we saw through the eyes of Greywing. You are seeing that things are settled in a really pleasant way, and it's just nice. There's something about it that is just nice.
Yeah, I feel like it really hits the nostalgia factor.
Yeah,
like as much as silly
that there's a nostalgia factor, but listen, there is.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing: as much as I will rag on ThunderClan, and I will take them down a few pegs. Going back to ThunderClan's forest camp and like being focused on ThunderClan did get the nostalgia going, and I will admit that.
You're very brave.
I know. Thank you. It took a lot of courage to say. I
totally get it, though. I do get it, as much as I tease.
Yeah. I love how, like, we saw a lot in Dawn of the Clans, in Thunder's perspective, like, his constant worry and anxiety over, like, whether he wants his father's approval, whether he's going to end up like his father. A lot of daddy issues with this boy. Mm-hmm. And I loved the way that they did his daddy issues in this one.
Absolutely. My favorite part of this novella was the scenes and interiority that Thunderstar was having about this fear of becoming Skystar, this fear of becoming his father, and the terrible relationship that he had with Skystar, who at the time we knew him as Clear Sky. We all know this is a Clear Sky hate account, except for occasions when he seems to be better, but I don't know, he's still on thin fucking ice.
Yeah, really, like, I think what did it for me for that one in particular was not necessarily like worry that he's going to be like his dad because that's, you know, in his blood, but because he did not have his father did not show him how to be a good dad. Yeah. He is worried that he is not going to know how to be a good dad. Mm-hmm. And it just, I loved it. It was so good.
He's so good. He's such a good boy.
Yeah.
Even if him and Violet Dawn are both not very good at naming their children.
Oh my God.
Those children got some goofy ass names.
They got the worst fucking names.
Shellclaw is so bad.
It's so bad. Oh, so there's a meme that's gone around in the Warriors fandom for, I don't know, at least a year or two, where it's, what if kitty pets knew what a car was? You know that one?
You mean the fucking car?
Yeah, you mean the fucking car where it's like a clan cat is like, whoa, you better watch out for the monster. And they're like,
I think the monster is sleeping.
You mean the fucking car? They're when they go to the two-leg place, which is a junkyard, there's a moment where one of them says, I didn't know two-leg monsters could die. And it just made me think of that post where it's like, you mean the fucking car?
It's so good. I do love like the idea of it being a, like, they think of it as like a monster graveyard.
Yeah.
Even though it's just a junkyard. That's very fun.
It's so good. Those dogs horrifying.
It does just make me think of, you mean the fucking car?
It's so good. Warrior Cat's heritage posts.
The expression on, we'll have to link that.
Oh
in
yeah,
the show notes.
we'll have to find it and link it because it's just so good.
Because it's so good. I was really, really sad to have Lightning Tail leave us. I had that spoiled for me going into it, so I knew that it was going to happen. But even with that, I was like, I don't want it to.
Yeah, I really did not want him to die either. But I think his death is definitely one that I think they did such a good job with it.
Yeah, I agree.
It was so Thunderstar's like reaction and his mourning was just so good. He was so sad. That's his best friend.
It's his bestie.
And he's like, nobody's gonna be as good as my best friend is, and I don't know how I'm supposed to do this without him. Like, they are just... I love Thunderstar and Lightning Tail. They're just so good.
I don't care what anybody says.
They are in love.
Violet Dawn are in a polycule, and I will die on this hill.
I agree.
There's even a line in this.
Yes. That's what I was going to say.
Where they talk about that he's like going to help them raise the kits.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is canon. It's canon. It's the three of them.
Canon. They are a thing. I also like when Lightning Tail they're in StarClan. There is a line where it says that there is nothing more important than protecting the cats you love. Said to Lightning Tail specifically, and he just like looks over at Thunderstar, and it's just, oh my god, it's so. You just think about the fact that like Lightning Tail does not, and again, this is probably a result of the writing and the fact that he's a minor character, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm making this man gay in my head. Mm-hmm. Like, Thunderstar is the only cat that he really ever has like these deep interactions with.
Yeah.
And regardless of whether it is romantic or platonic love, those two cats love each other so goddamn much.
So much.
And it hurt my soul when Lightning Tail died. It was such a good, sad death.
It was. It really, I tend to say when we say a lot on this podcast that cats are done dirty. I feel like Lightning Tail got a really good death. Like, if he had to die, I think that this is very well written. I think it's very well considered.
Yeah, I don't think it was a pointless death.
Correct. Yeah, exactly.
And it wasn't necessarily even to fuel Thunderstar's growth as a character. It was to reflect more of what the new dangers are in this world for them.
Yeah, it felt a lot. It felt a lot more natural in the way of like sometimes shit happens. It
exactly.
It's not something that they did because they didn't have anything else to do. It's something that is like sometimes things happen and you can't do anything but figure out how to go forward.
Right.
I think that Micah's death could have felt more like that if Mothlight's Vision was a better considered book.
I agree.
This felt very good. I wanted to shout out, there's yet another birthing scene. I'm so sorry, Jill.
Yeah, whatever. It's less graphic this time.
It's just now it's in my head. I'm gonna think about it every time.
So here's the thing. Here's my one thing about this.
Ooh, tell me.
So, for those of you who know, reincarnation is a thing in this book series.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Lightning Tail reincarnated into Thunderstar's daughter? Because I feel like that was very, very hinted at.
Oh, I hope so.
So Thunderstar, Lightning Tail dies the night before the kits are born.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, close enough in general to the time that usually, like, this whole reincarnation shit happens.
Yeah.
And one of Thunderstar's daughters has a little lightning mark on her tummy.
Yeah, they name her Lightning Stripe.
It's so cute.
It's so cute. The
And
only good name of all four
Yeah.
cats.
I don't know. There was a lot of like, Lightning Tail is going to be watching over my kits. Lightning Tail is always going to be here with me. There was a lot of that being talked about. So I don't know. I kind of feel like Lightning Tail got reincarnated as his daughter. And I think that's good for him.
I'm going to go with this. This is my new...
That's my new headcanon.
I'm taking this in as my headcanon as
well. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. Also, just one more thing about the kits and the names. Sleek Fur should have been named after Greywing. It was a small gray Tom. Sleek Fur should have been named after Greywing.
I agree.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
But yeah, we haven't gotten any writing about Lightning Stripe or any of Thunder's kits like in adulthood or apprenticeship, and I would like to see that. I would like to see more of them.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe the Super Edition that's coming out about River.
Maybe
River Ripple
about
might
River
be.
Ripple, though that I believe is taking place before.
It might be. I don't know if it is before or after.
I think that it's about him being in the commune.
It's called River Star's Home. So it may be...
Maybe it spans multiple times. Like maybe it spans...
Oh yeah, it says that he... Come on. Load, please. A friend from the park reappears with terrible news. The cat, now known as River Star, will have to decide which home he is truly committed to protecting.
Ooh.
So yeah, I think...
So it is going to be sort of post...
it's at least post Mothflight's vision.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Oh, Feather Ear is the other horrible name that he gives his children.
Feather Ear and Shell Claw are such bad names. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to Violet Dawn. They're not good names.
They're not.
Feather Ear is really hard to say. Shell Claw doesn't make sense. Also, there's already Snail Shell in ThunderClan at this point, so another tick on the you can't have the same word in two different names in the same book. SMH my head.
SMH my head. Oh, incredible. Yeah, we don't have anything else about his kits, so I don't even know if any of them have living ancestors. Well, maybe that'll change in the future.
I suppose that's
I'm sure.
for us to fill in. I
Knowing
hope that
them.
they do go back to, it's been quite a few years now since these were released. Shadowstar's Life was 2019, Thunderstar's Echo was 2017, and I believe that that's pretty much the last time that they've gone back to
this era.
But they do have River Star's Homecoming. Or River Star's Home coming out. He's not going to Homecoming.
He would slay, though.
He would be Homecoming King.
Yeah. This is kind of what I wanted more of in Dawn of the Clans, which is like seeing how their rules and traditions came about. Like, we did get quite a bit of it in Dawn of the Clans, but like this was very clearly stated.
Mm-hmm. For Dawn of the Clans supposedly being about the formation of the clans, I feel like a lot of the code creation happens off screen.
Yeah.
And it was fun to see that a little bit more directly here.
I agree. So should we talk about Shadowstar's life?
Yeah.
I just think it's funny how they both started the exact both had the exact same moment.
I can't stress enough that it is the leader and the deputy being chased down and attacked by dogs. Both of them die. Both of them go to StarClan to speak to Greywing and get some wisdom from our friend Greywing, and then the leaders come back to life and have to mourn their deputies.
Yep.
It was so funny to me.
Like, I don't even know how to explain.
Like, it's like I said, there's 2 years between these two being written, so they're not necessarily meant to be read back to back in the way that we are doing it, but the way that in the order that we are reading it, it was like, again?
Yeah.
If I had a nickel for every time a leader and a deputy died in a dogfight and talked to Greywing, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't that many, but it's kind of weird that it happened twice in a row.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, so I actually was, I have got this pulled up for our discussion, because I'm sure we will talk more about timeline stuff when we get to Star Clan. My other note that I made at the start, girl, you have died so much. Like,
she died. It's
so soon after getting those lives. She has lost almost all of them.
So many of them. I had a note about both of the allegiances listed in this book for these, or for both of the books, despite being published 2 years apart. Is that, first of all, Willowtail is in the allegiances, listed in the allegiances, despite very distinctly dying at the end of Mothblade's vision.
Well, you know.
And Thunderstar's kits are not listed in the allegiances in Shadowstar's life, despite the fact that Owl Eyes is listed as his deputy, so this would be after his kits were born. And
two of his kits are listed. Not all 4.
No, those are the other kits.
I thought Shellclaw was listed.
No, Snail Shell is listed, right?
Oh, I guess you are right. Patch Pelt and Beachtail.
And then Snail Shell is an adult, who I believe is one of Milkweed's.
Yeah, one of Milkweed's.
So I thought that was funny. There's often inconsistencies in the allegiances, but it's very funny to me that some of the things that happened were listed and then some of the things were not.
Yeah, I do think that was quite funny. So she's just died so much is the thing.
It's literally like the scene in the Puss in Boots, the new Puss in Boots movie, the most recent Puss in Boots movie, which I haven't seen yet, but I know about. There's a scene where he just lists off all the ways that he's lost his lives.
Incredible. Yeah, that literally is like what happens
in this book. It's so funny.
And I'm just like, Shadowstar, girl, do you have any sense of self-preservation?
There's even 2 where it's like, oh yeah, I never told anybody about these. Like, bitch,
yeah.
Stop that. Tell someone.
Wild shit. Loved her paranoia though. I also was like, who the fuck set the dogs on her? I was invested. That's the other reason I didn't take too many notes, is because I was like, flipping pages like, I gotta find out what happened. Yeah. I need to know who tried to kill her. And like, you know, we've talked before about the problem of a dishonest character apologizing on their deathbed and that solves the problem. And it frustrated me so much, especially in this one, because they act like Quickwater wasn't given an opportunity to explain herself.
Right, but she literally specifically says that she did not. It specifically said that she did not explain herself.
Yeah, because she was at SkyClan's camp when Shadowstar went there, and Shadowstar was like, hey, your warrior tried to fucking murder me. And Skystar was like, Quickwater, are you gonna defend yourself at all? And she literally did not say a word. She just looked at them.
Her feet. Yeah, she looked at her paws.
And he was like, well, if you're not gonna defend yourself, like, I have to believe that you did this. So you need to get the fuck out of here. And she still didn't say anything.
And she just left.
And I'm like, what happened that like, no wonder Shadowstar was at that gathering like, oh my god, they're all plotting against me. Because for all intents and purposes, I don't understand why Skystar wasn't on her side for that.
I know. It was very... That whole thing was...
Yeah, it was weird.
It was kind of like it went like one twist further than it needed to necessarily, which I would say is the weakest part of the story, though it was still a story that I greatly enjoyed, and I think that they did a lot of fun things. But it was sort of like, okay, there's one turn more than you really needed. Yeah. And it just sort of makes it clunkier.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But yeah, they did the thing again. They did do it again. They did character dies and apologizes as they're dying, and that makes everything okay. Warrior's not the only series to do this, of course. I believe for a different reason you cited Star Wars in the past, but I will cite Star Wars again here.
Oh yeah, Kylo Ren, like 100%.
Yeah, this is the Kylo Ren move, as I understand it. I haven't seen that movie, but
don't watch it.
I have
It's
Osmos.
not good.
It's not good.
I will go on record saying that was the most disappointing experience I had. I went to go see that movie first showing of the day it came out, and I had been very excited, and I was so supremely let down.
It feels so depressing. Like, just hearing about it, and even just like knowing the way that movie shakes out is so deeply depressing to me.
Yeah. God, but that's for a whole other podcast.
Yeah. Anyways, Warrior Cat's not the only series to do this at all. This is a pretty common trope in like
a lot of hero media.
A lot of media, a lot of I feel like probably it's even more like in children's and middle grade media.
Or general family-friendly media. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, fucking superhero movies do this shit all the time, too.
Oh, probably. I don't watch enough superhero movies for that, but I'm sure you're correct.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know, do something different. There's just so many more interesting ways that you can handle it.
Have them be unapologetically mean.
Send Quickwater to the Dark Forest.
Oh, God, yeah. There's some folks who are talking about that one.
Oh, excited to hear about that. Aside from that being kind of like a downer of a resolution for Quickwater, I really, really liked this story. We gotta talk about the final couple of pages of this novella, though.
Yeah.
So,
oh my God.
So we're back with our buddy Greywing again, and Quickwater and Shadowstar are both dead now. Shadowstar has lost her final life. Quickwater has lost her singular life. They are both worried about the state of things. They don't know what's going to happen with SkyClan. They don't know how things are going to shake out. Greywing brings them over to the fucking prophecy pool and shows them essentially what will be the events of all, like, the rest of the timeline, and says, look, here's everything that's going to happen in the timeline. And yeah, the stuff that you're worried about is going to happen, but it's also going to be, like, in the end, SkyClan will come back to the clans, and they'll all live together around a lake, and things will be okay.
Yeah.
Why do they know the whole thing?
Yeah,
Why does
we went into it last time, but like,
why can they just straight up say that StarClan knows everything and does nothing? Why does this get to happen?
It's so frustrating because, and like, literally this is the same exact conversation we had in the last book of like, don't put the fucking, it's agonizing. Just make it a vision that is like, Pebbleheart has a vision of SkyClan's territory getting torn apart.
Yeah.
And
it's just a vision. It's vague.
It's just a vision. It's vague. Don't give them the literal, like, here, we've got our fucking security cameras on Firestar at the lake right now. Let's see what they're up to. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Throw to Firestar. Firestar's the nightly news.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me to, like, have them be able to know everything that is going to happen when, like, I feel like in previous books, it has been, like, there have been times where it's like, that's why some of the cats get reincarnated, is because it wasn't, like, supposed to be their time, wasn't it? Am I incorrect in thinking that?
So, spoilers for later stuff here. If you would like to, if you don't want to hear this, go ahead, check the chapters, and go ahead to the Erin Corner. But if you're in it to win it, you're in it to win it, and that's here. So, specifically, Cinderpelt, later in the series, is a cat who's training to be a warrior. She is hit by a car and loses mobility in one of her legs and has to become a medicine cat instead. The reason that Cinderpelt ends up dying and being reincarnated is specifically because StarClan wanted to give her a second chance at being a warrior instead of being a medicine cat, but it is stated that it's still stated that that was like the path. It's like she had a path of being a medicine cat and then being reincarnated to be a warrior, if I'm remembering correctly.
Okay.
As far as other reincarnations, I don't remember other reincarnations really, except for sort of the implication that when Jayfeather goes back in time in his dreams, it's like a backwards reincarnation, and I know that Dovewing and Lionblaze are also technically there.
Yeah.
Which is also vague. Yeah. And it's better when it's vague.
Exactly. And that's the thing too, is like it's better when it is a vague thing, like when we can speculate about Lightning Stripe being the incarnation of Lightning Tail. Like that's when it is good. But when you are I just feel like it does a disservice to the characters by having it all be like, well, this has all been planned out by StarClan. Like there's no changing any of it. It just feels bad.
It does a disservice to StarClan as well, because it does a disservice to everybody, but like it makes StarClan look worse because if they know this shit is happening and they're not doing anything about it, then
why are they giving these vague ass prophecies?
Yeah, and also why are they then giving vague prophecies?
Yeah.
I like it better and I do think that they lean much more in this direction in later series when StarClan doesn't really know what the fuck is going on either. And like they sort of reach the end of what they can know, and they just have to work with what they have. And that's so much more interesting to me, and like such a more compelling cosmology and concept of religion. In like I really enjoy in my fiction, in my fantasy writing, fallible gods who don't really know, like I don't want an omnipotent god. I want a god who's trying their best.
Yeah, well, and I feel like that's like one of the things that I try and do in like a lot of my D&D games too, like especially with one that I run for you and some friends in Radiant Citadel, where there's all of these deities who are like vying,
and they're all like
they're all vying for control over the party members, but like they can't do anything about what the other ones are doing. Like they aren't all powerful. They have like their specific things that they can affect.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's what I want more of from StarClan is like, I feel like StarClan shouldn't know everything, but they should be the ones who like get the visions, and thusly they are trying their damnedest to interpret the prophecies, because the way StarClan is presented lately is as a clan itself, rather than just like cats vibing when they need to come and talk to the clans.
Yeah, it's
talking about like, oh, we're going to go hunt. Like we act as a clan, and I'm like, then you should not be omnipotent.
Yeah,
because who's the leader of StarClan?
Exactly. And if StarClan is a clan and there's no leader, then isn't that against the warrior code?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. It's wild. And I feel like this is just going to be a thing that we're going to constantly discuss with really no...
There's not going to be a resolution because I feel like it just comes down, and it could even in a lot of cases come down to different writer interpretations, because there are a lot of different Erins.
That's so true.
For both of these, we have a totally new Erin today, which I'll talk about when we get to the Erin Corner. But yeah, there's just... Y'all need, I don't know, do some more world building. I'm begging y'all. It's fun and good, and it will make your stories better.
Yeah.
But I know that you guys work really hard. Erins, I know you're working hard.
Clearly, we would not be doing this if we didn't respect the work that you put into this.
Yes, absolutely.
Like that's every criticism we give is out of love.
Exactly, and it's part of like what you do when it comes to critical analysis.
Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to mention, so we know from both this story and from future books that it is quite some time before SkyClan actually leaves the forest.
Yeah, going by our 1921 timeline, like start point, for Dawn of the Clans, it's another like 50 years or something that SkyClan still hangs out with the rest of the clans.
And so it's so wild to me that they're already setting up that the two legs are going to destroy the forest.
I know. I thought that was really quite a stretch.
That was my main issue with this story. Because, I even pulled up the Warriors Wiki events timeline, which I saw today on Twitter. One of the Erins was thanking the workers on the Warriors Wiki because they consult it all the time.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Shout the fuck out to these people. They deserve everything. But so I was like, okay, well, I'll look on there and I'll see what the timeline is like. And after Mothflight's vision and these two novellas,
there's nothing until
there's literally nothing until Cloudstar's Journey, which is our next novella that we're reading.
Yeah.
And it's just like unknown years before Firestar. And so it is, and even Cloudstar's Journey is an unknown year before Firestar. It's not even until Mapleshade's Vengeance that we get like actual hard dates of this is 19 years before the first book. So there is so much uncovered ground. There are like there's little short stories in the guidebooks, Battles of the Clans, Code of the Clans, things like that kind of are little like not even like, I don't want to say they're not worth it for the podcast because like, these are cats that happen at some point and there are some very interesting tidbits in there, but they are not clearly stated like when they are.
Yeah, so it's not really difficult to put them
it's really difficult to put them in the podcast. And they're not like, they're like very, very, very short stories, like a page and a half of font size, like 32 text. Like they're huge. It's just a little kind of thing.
Yeah.
So there's so much that happens between this book or this novella and SkyClan leaving. So it just made no fucking sense to me.
And even if we were to go by the proposed shorter timeline, which we talked about in the last episode, it would still be so long because there has to be generations and generations in between the era of Skystar and the first iteration of SkyClan and Cloudstar and the
because they say as much in this book. They're like, that's not SkyClan. I don't know any of those fools.
I don't know any of these cats.
Yeah, duh.
They vaguely say, oh, it seems like there may be descendants, but like that's question mark.
And they even say like, hey, this is generations later. And I'm like, look, we know that cats don't live as long as humans. However, these cats, barring Firestar, don't live very long.
Yeah.
They're wild cats. They don't live very long.
God, and sometimes looking at the like death ages for the cats is really, really grim. Yeah.
So like that's part of it is like, sure, there's a lot of generations. The cats don't live very long. But also, like, we are humans. We know what the fuck humans do. If they're gonna build a house on the land, they're gonna cut the trees down and then they're gonna delay building the houses for like 10 years. Like or they're just gonna do it all right then. Like they're just gonna pop it off real quick.
The concept of them surveying
waiting
this
for
early,
50 years.
Yeah.
It's so wild to me.
I mean, I suppose to be generous about it, it could be that they that like whatever the project was fell through. But then somebody picks it up like, 50 years later.
Yeah.
But still kind of just a funny way to sort of muddle up what the timeline looks like.
Exactly.
Sometimes Dawn of the Clans and the era of Dawn of the Clans feels so close to Firestar.
Yeah, it really
and sometimes it doesn't. But I wish that they had leaned a lot more into it feeling further away.
I agree.
Even the fact that there is a two-leg place anywhere near where the cats live in and like that two legs are a thing that they have to worry about in this era is like, I think that it would sell it being
further away.
Further away if there was not any kind of settling yet. Because according to what I looked up recently, and of course we know that it is not actually it is a fictionalized area of England. It is not a real area of England, but it was originally based on essentially a national forest in Hampshire, I believe. So like it should be, I just feel like it should have been more wild and further away from people.
No, I agree 100%. I did look up in this timeline as I'm kind of just scrolling, one more inconsistency that I want to point out regarding the warrior code. In Code of the Clans, apparently it is a Sky Clan deputy named Maple Whisker who adds the law that the clan deputy succeeds the old leader, when we know for a fact that is not true. I mean, like, maybe he was the first one to say, like, we should make this, like, a formal rule, but, like, that's pretty much what the concept of deputies were from the beginning, is like, hey, if I die, this is the person who's gonna lead.
We need a line of succession. You can't... It's very funny to live in the world where deputies existed but weren't expected to be the ones that succeeded the leaders. That's very funny to think about. That is very funny to me. Well, yeah, it is very odd. But we know that the code as it was written in that book was written very long ago. A long time before a lot of these stories. Oh yeah. Very much so. Anything else, or should we move to the Let's go to the Erin Corner. All right. Erin Corner time. New Erin alert. Erin alarms. Both of these novellas were written by a author named Clarissa Hutton, who is a longtime editor and story consultant for the Erin team. According to her author profile on the official Warrior Cats website, she was heavily involved in plotting all of Dawn of the Clans, and so was really delighted to return to these characters via the novellas. And I feel like that affection and that love of the characters really comes through, like especially through Thunderstar's Echo, and the scenes with Shadowstar and Pebbleheart. I forgot to mention it when we were really discussing Shadowstar's life, but all of the scenes with Shadowstar and Pebbleheart. I loved them. They were so good. I love Pebbleheart so much. I missed that little boy. I miss him so much. He ain't dead. I just miss him. Well, he is dead, technically. He is dead now. I want a special edition about Pebbleheart. I would kill for a special edition about Pebbleheart. Shout out also to Sparrowfur, who they don't talk about it too much in the books, but she ends up, Skystar appoints her as his deputy, which I think is pretty cool. So both Owl Eyes and Sparrowfur, two siblings, get to be deputies. I think that is very interesting and very cool. Yeah, and Pebbleheart is, the first medicine cat of Shadow Clan. So they all got to be really, like, integral to their clans, and I love that. Turtletail's legacy lives on. Indeed. For Clarissa Hutton, can't find too much else about her outside of her author profile. As I mentioned, these were published 2 years apart, and there are some other novellas that we will read not immediately, but in the next couple of episodes that will and across the podcast that will also have been written by Clarissa Hutton, who seems sort of took over writing some of those after Victoria Holmes, another one of the Erins, had to step back for cancer treatment, I believe in 2017. She's doing fine now, as far as I know. But yeah, so that's sort of the story about this Erin. I love having a new Erin. I think that's very fun. It's always fun to meet a new Erin. What was happening in the fandom for these? Well, not much, because they are novellas. I wasn't really expecting a ton either. Mm-hmm. The novellas originally, I believe, were all ebook releases only. I think it wasn't until a little while after that a few of them were published as like actual collections. Paperback compilations. But for the most part, I believe all the novellas were originally ebook publishings, and thusly, just going based on my own experience, obviously, if a book is only an ebook publishing, I usually don't read it. Mm-hmm. Because typically it is much more annoying to find. Yeah. Uh-huh. So I don't think a ton of folks necessarily read them, maybe just read the summaries.
But we got a little bit of stuff. We got some folks on Tumblr. Lots of cat designs on Tumblr.
Yes.
Just like a ton of art of Thunderstar and Shadowstar and Violet Dawn and Lightning, like all of the cats. They just like, people go ham. Lots of pebble hearts, all that fun stuff.
My son.
There's also user NavyCat305 did Warrior Cats novellas in 10 words or less, which I will also revisit for all the other novellas that we read.
Yes.
But what they put for Thunderstar, they did not read Thunderstar's Echo, so they just wrote mundane stuff happens in Ancient ThunderClan, and my friend, you could not be more wrong. Shadowstar's life. State leader paranoid about assassination. Tensions temporarily resolved with death. I thought that was very funny.
That's really good.
So we will definitely revisit this post later, because I just think it's funny.
Yeah, excited to see these.
There was a lot of confusion over the timeline, as we already discussed, especially why the two legs were taking SkyClan's territory, and why that was set up so early. And just so much love for Thunderstar and Lightning Tail's relationship, whether it is bros, lovers, what have you. Like, it is just like, they are the most popular, I feel like, and they fucking deserve it, because they are just, everyone's like, oh, they're so cool, they're best friends, they have their own move together, like...
They're so good!
That people are obsessed with them, and rightly so. I love them. But that's pretty much all I found on Tumblr. On AO3, we, of course, still have our person who is rewriting all the books going strong. Not much for Shadowstar's life. All of the ones that are tagged with Shadowstar usually have her as like a very minor character. Usually as like a StarClan cat. There was a fic about Lightning Tail still watching over Thunderstar after his death and watching the kits grow up and being sort of like still in a relationship where, you know, Thunderstar has his living wife and his dead husband, basically.
Yes!
There's also, and I did not read this one, but there was somebody wrote Thunderstar's Echo from Lightning Tail's point of view, which I decided not to read because I feel like I might cry.
Yeah.
So I decided to save that one for later. Speaking of crying, not a ton on Reddit, except for there was a post that was, what are the moments in Warriors that made you cry the most? Quite a few people put Lightning Tail's death.
Oh.
And so I was like, yeah, you know what? Yeah.
I get it.
I do. And then, as you mentioned earlier, a lot of people complaining about inconsistencies on who ends up in StarClan and who ends up in the Dark Forest. Because I think some people pointed out, they're like, there are cats in the Dark Forest who did not break the Warrior Code, technically. And Quickwater over here broke it twice. 3 times.
So deeply, too. Not just like, didn't thank StarClan for my prey when I caught a mouse, but like, killed 3 people if you count Shadowstar twice.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a main complaint of like, because she apologized on her deathbed, she gets to go to StarClan. Like, okay. Which, I mean, you know what?
I'm wondering if in the future, they're maybe gonna rework that policy, because they kind of did that with another character, and boy, did it cause issues. Later, boy. I'll tell you that.
I can't wait.
We'll get into it eventually.
For sure. But that's pretty much all we got sharing tongues here today. Just a lot of good art out there. Shout out to all of the fan artists in the fandom. We love you guys.
I love to see Warrior Cats art.
Yeah.
It makes me so happy every time.
So excited to see more. Scout, let's talk about our Warrior Cats of the week. We decided to pick one for each novella.
Yeah!
I have a sneaking suspicion we're going to have the same cat on both of these.
I wouldn't be surprised. Who is your Warrior Cat of the week for Thunderstar's Echo?
It's my boy Lightning Tail.
Yeah, same for me. It's Lightning Tail. It's gotta be.
I mean, he just had such a good death scene. He is just the boy. I've literally just been singing his praises all episode, so.
He's such a good boy. Yeah. What more can we say about Lightning Tail? We love him. He's perfect.
We love him. He's perfect, no notes.
And what about for Shadowstar's life?
It's Pebbleheart.
It's Pebbleheart!
he's he is such a good character, and I don't feel like they utilize him as well as they could.
They didn't utilize him as well as they could have. They really didn't.
But he is so good in this.
He's so good at advising Shadowstar here. There's a really, really good scene where Shadowstar decides to confide in him that she's on her last life, and he talks to her about it.
Oh, God. Yeah, that was so good.
So good. I love everything about Pebbleheart.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say about him except that I love that boy. I am, I'm Will Smith pointing at my beautiful wife, gesturing at my beautiful wife, except it's
my little cat
me
son.
And a little warrior cat.
And I just always imagine him as this tiny little boy. I know he's an adult at this point in the story, but he's just my small little guy.
He's just a little guy. Yeah, I think of him as a very small cat, even when full grown.
Mm-hmm.
He's got runt of the litter energy.
He does. But yeah, those are our warrior cats of the week.
We
just love sweet boys.
It's a victory lap for both of them.
Yeah,
because
it is.
They have both been both of our warrior cats of the week in past episodes.
It is so true.
Listen, if you got it, you got it.
Yeah, and if you got it, flaunt it.
You got it. Yeah, exactly.
Scout, you want to take us out?
Yeah. If you have thoughts, opinions, questions, or memes to share with us, you can write to us at pawsandclawspod@gmail.com. That's paws as in what a cat has, claws as in the part of speech, pod as in podcast. We are also on Twitter at Paws and Claws and on Tumblr at Paws Claws Pod. Listeners who are 18 years and older can come join us on Discord, which will be linked in the show notes. You can find me, that's your host Scout, on Twitter or Tumblr at HumbleGoat, and you can see the art that I do, including our podcast cover art, at scoutwilkinson.myportfolio.com. Links to my portfolio as well as my Ko-fi page are in the show notes as well.
And you can find me on Twitter at plot_twists or on Tumblr at antique-romantic. Our next episode will be out in 2 weeks, where we will discuss novellas 3 and 7, Cloudstar's Journey, and Mapleshade's Vengeance. Read along by buying the book from a local bookstore or checking out a copy from your local library. Until then, dear listeners, may StarClan guide your paws.